Okay. Now the next idea, next thought to think about is, how do you organize a connected educator event?
Just do it.
Well, I think it's important for people who want to attend, for them to understand, like, look, okay, few simple guidelines. You can either be a host of one of the sessions. That way you get a different link. You can be an attendee, right? Or a panelist. If you attend, you basically observe and you can chat, type in questions in a chat, and you can be invited by the host to to be seen on the screen and ask a question, but people do get engaged in the chat. If you're a host, you invite your own panelists and you propose a topic, and then you have 1 hour of a session to discuss the topic through. We ask the hosts to propose 5 questions so that we can share questions with our audience on Twitter. And those questions are always conversation starters for later. There's always a Twitter chat going on during the session, but the advantage of a chat is that it can go on forever. And yes, our website that I may be a little behind with, but I promise I'll get back to work with, just maybe a few months behind. But we hope to have plenty of the things planned ahead, and you will be able to see that on the website, let's say in a week. Now I have to do it in a week because I said it publicly.
And it's recorded.
And it's recorded. So as friend Prommel would say, now it's data and you have to stick to data. So the entire program, the announcements of our monthly meetups, as well as the topics for our annual event that's happening in a month, that all can be found on our Connected Educators Appreciation Day website, but not right now. In a week, I promise. And if there's any question, just go to our chat or to our messenger, ask us any question. There's no dumb question. We are totally aware that it is new for a lot of people. And if you don't know how to join in, if you have a topic you think is worth discussing, we'll try and include that into our annual conference. What did I forget?
Well, no, I think you did a really good job. I think, kind of to let people know a little bit about, how it's organized and how we pull all this together it is a lot of work for the 4 of us leading up to this yearly event. And it does entail, Vladka and Michael, update the website, and they get all the events, and host, and we got to coordinate with the people that are running these sessions, getting their photos and their bios and their questions. And then we ask people to help us share on social media. And so we, between Cassie and Michael and Vladka, they create all the social media graphics, and then we share those with people to be able to share out on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram. And so there's a lot of this behind the work planning that we go on, so that when it does show up on the website and you can participate in one of the ways that Vladka just explained to you, that all those things are there. And easy for you. But I think, simply if you're listening to this and you haven't been part of this before, the quickest and easiest way is just join us that day. I don't care if it's for 20 minutes, for an hour, or if you want to be around for all 8 hours. Well in advance, you'll be able to see what the schedule is, what the topics are, who's going to be talking. Find something that you think is interesting that you want to learn more about, and just sign up to watch that session and listen in. I mean, if you don't want to ask questions, if you don't want us to know you're there, just show up and be a lurker, right? I mean, just watch and listen. If that's your comfort zone right now, is just not letting people know you're there, just sign up to watch it and tune in live if you can. And if you are inspired during that moment, then you can maybe share something on Twitter or share something in the chat. You don't have to be on camera. You can just type in your question, so you can edit it and have time to rethink it before you hit the enter button. It's that simple. But none of that happens if you don't show up. And I think that's the biggest thing, is just showing up. And you have been part of this. I think the important thing is that we could use your help, because this isn't something that we could do without you, is for you to actually share this with the other teachers in your school, the other teachers in your district, the other teachers that you're connected with, and let them know that this is going on. Because really, you know, the thing that drives us, like we talked about at the beginning, is seeing the people that are being impacted. We know that people will be impacted, but seeing it happens is what keeps the fuel going. And through those rough times, it helps motivate us to get through those. And so having your help to share the word and spread the message about this to other educators, whether they're connected or not, I think is the important thing, because this is for everybody who's just got an interest in seeing what it's about.
Michael, you know all the numbers from last year, right? So it was all I remember is it was 8-hour event, but I always get the numbers wrong. So how many continents, people from how many continents joined in, and how many people shared or talked about it in any way?
I'd love to. I'll have a look when you're talking for the next answers, and I'll get the numbers for you. I know though that we missed Antarctica. That was the only continent we didn't get someone coming from. So if anyone's from Antarctica out there, you're welcome to join us this October for our session. If there's something you would like to share about how you work in education that you think is relevant to kids in the world, or other teachers or other adults, they can learn from you. We'd love to have you, because we missed you last year, so I'm really, really sorry.
I just have a question. What time zone is it in Antarctica?
Well, that's interesting though, because it's really going to be varied depending on where you stand, isn't it?
I guess if you're directly on the South Pole, you can actually be in every time zone just by taking a step.
You could,
depending on which penguin is logging in.
The thing is, too, I think it was fun this year. It was seeing a couple of different countries in the same time zone, like the time zone where I am in Scotland, but the countries in Africa share my time zone. So their time zone name is different than my time zone name. It's the same time zone, which is just why. Let's not make it complicated, you know? Don't do that.
Yeah.
Anyway, I was thinking on your points here for this question. You gave, I would say, really specific examples of how to do it for our event, and what the roles were for our event, and what the logistics were behind our event. For other educators who perhaps aren't, maybe they want to go their own way, or perhaps they're not ready to put themselves out there for such a big audience. We had a few people watching, which was really nice this year. Do it yourself. I mean, if you go on Twitter yourself, and you have an account on Twitter, you have an account on Facebook, or you have an account on Instagram, or the rest. There's Periscope. There's and now I'm drawing a blank. That's fine. Yeah. So other tools for sharing your words, use them, and start speaking or start writing, and others will read it. That's a way to connect. And when we go organizing a Connected Educator event, that's specifically us, perhaps. For you to organize an event that will connect educators, which will be essentially a Connected Educator event, take a step, write a post, ask a question, invite someone. These sort of small, and they don't seem small at the time, these small steps, once you get to the 5th step, they look like they were small steps. And they'll empower you to see, wow, look what I did. Look what I did. Look what I can do in future. And it will hopefully, and I would imagine it will, empower you further. It'll open your eyes to the gifts that you have once you share them with others. That's a tough thing to do. To take that initial step and write something or share something or post something, it is a tough thing to do. Now, what I'd say that we had in our team here that was really helpful for that was the team. We had in our team was a team. We weren't individuals. We were a team going forward. And we knew what had to happen for this event to be a success. And it was a success. But it wasn't a case of one person doing all the stuff. We volunteered where we were skilled. And it was that fluidity and that collaborative nature of what we did, which I think really made our team successful, which made our event successful. So I would say, if you want to begin this thing, you can start yourself. But it's always going to be helpful to have someone to talk to bounce ideas off of. Perhaps someone has a different skill you have, and they're wearing on what you can do, but you're wearing what they can do. And by sharing that load, by sharing the burden for this event you want to plan, or this talk you want to have, or this idea you want to share that's revolutionary where you are. Perhaps other people in different countries have been doing it for years. It will allow you to connect with them and say, have you used this before? It's brand new where I am. You'll likely get a response. I think it's, again, that's the nature of social media these days. People want to connect with you. You just need to be confident enough to open the door to let them in. That was nice. I like these. The end sentence is good. Yeah, my last one was in there. I should do that every time. There's my little catchphrase. That's great.
Just take
You're gonna watch out for my last one's gonna be amazing. I'm telling you. I've not thought of it yet, but my last one's gonna be amazing.